Hello friends. Someone here is the kind of person where you feel like you can't only listen to your favorite songs like when no one is watching or listening. You might be the kind of person who listen to the weirdest music from your perspective, or maybe it's somebody else's perspective. I don't know. You tell me. Only in your headphones, only in your earbuds when no one else can hear them. And I always thought that was a pretty interesting concept because it's like, why should we be embarrassed to listen to the things we love? I can see if it's like super loud and everyone can hear it, then obviously we'd want to be mindful. But if it's at like a more personal volume, even if it's not in our personal headset, why should I be embarrassed to listen to my favorite song 3 times? Why should I be embarrassed that I'm listening to a song from 2003? Why should I be embarrassed that it's a genre that you wouldn't assume that I like? Exactly. So this is a channeled video if you haven't picked that up yet, and it's for anyone who feels like they can relate to it. So welcome. Thank you for being here. Okay, so someone feels like someone is their favorite dummy. I feel like there is an individual who, I'm just going to be very blunt in this message, by the way, and I'm allowing a certain energy also to kind of overtake me. So I'm channeling a lot of things that are not like myself. So if you're familiar with the channel, you know my normal temperament, you'll notice if I go outside of that too crazy, because I'm silly and I'm very like expressive, but some things are clearly not me. So I think it'll be interesting to kind of like be in a trance state and come back and watch this and see what's said. But someone could have a voice where they maybe talk loud a lot or they yell a lot and they lose their voice a lot. That happens to me, but it's because I smoke. So somebody can smoke as well. And then I talk a lot because of the work that I do. But like someone else has this going on because they scream a lot and they smoke probably. I don't know. It's up to you. Someone feels like someone is their favorite dummy. Someone here does magic. They do the black nasty stuff that is unnecessary. I don't like to label it black magic. I don't know, that title is just kind of strange. I'm just gonna call it baneful magic, or like left hand magic, maybe. I don't know, something like that. But I feel like someone is literally giving someone their cycle, their menstrual cycle, to ingest somehow, whether that be in different drinks, alcoholic beverages I'm picking up on. It could even be food, but I'm really getting that it's mostly just like drinks, especially alcoholic drinks. But it could be through anything, especially like food, because it's not hard to disguise these things, I guess. I don't know. I think that's disgusting. I don't know how somebody would even I don't know. I don't know. Not, you know, I try not to be judgy, but some things I'm going to judge you on. You are being judged. Okay. That's weird and disgusting. But that's a part of the discussion for today anyway with the channel messages. So let's get into it, child. Okay. So someone believes in a different reality, or someone is unable to believe in a different reality. And I was supposed to pull up a message out of my phone, but I actually forgot to do it. So I'm just going to wing it. I don't know the exact, passage from the Bible, but my homegirl and I were sharing, we were texting, like doing voice memos back and forth yesterday, and she was like telling me one of her favorite verses from the Bible, and it was about, she basically felt like it was about you know, doing your work and allowing the divine to do its work in your life, and you just not being lazy and relying on the divine to do their part only and you not do yours. Okay, so it's basically like faith without work is dead kind of situation, but that wasn't the verse, y'all. But basically it was something about like something I can make the heart, something about the heart, I don't know. But when I heard it, it automatically made me, from my perspective, I saw hers, but I also mine received it as the divine, as God, right? I can create anything in your life that you believe is possible. Like that's how I took the verse. And when I told her that, she was just like flabbergasted. She's just like, oh my God, you're so wise, because this friend is like a little bit older than me. But she's just like, oh my God, you're so wise beyond your years, da-da-da. And it's just nice to have somebody acknowledge that. Let me say that first. But other than that, I realized that can be pretty profound, because when we think about it, I'm a believer, a firm believer, that what the Bible and what other religious texts and religious figures and prophets are trying to communicate to the human race to understand and remember even is that they're trying to teach you manifestation. Simple as that. One of the biggest ways manifestation can work for a person is by them believing that something is possible for them and being relaxed enough in their reality and in the possibilities to where they can magnetize it to themselves because they just believe it to be so, and their actions reflect what direction in this realm they want to go. Get what I'm saying? And it can really be that simple. So the point that I'm making with the channeled message is that someone here, and I'm picking up on masculine energy, it could be anyone though, could be going through something where they feel like they only can believe so much because of how they were brought up. I'm just getting someone who is becoming like a product of their environment. This is something that is meant to change, but I'm not sure how much that's changing for you. I could be like, maybe that's already a decision you made to not be a product of your environment, but you could also be learning about the fact that like you're noticing like, damn, like you may have experienced different ways of living, but even the people around you just kind of want to box you in and like maybe kind of control like how much you get to experience and like how much you believe is possible. Like that was really the channel message exactly. So thank you, Holy Spirit. So anyways, another thing, this is out of order, but it's okay because I remember the order it's supposed to be in. Okay, so some men, so the masculine energy that I'm picking up on, you could be viewed as like this guard pup. That's what I took that note down as. So you could be feeling like you know, when you're a puppy and you feel like you're a big dog, so you're like barking and barking and barking and just like acting all tough and da-da-da. And you may be very courageous, you may be strong, you may be destined for greatness as a little doggy, right? But as a pup, you're gonna be kind of like overdoing it and kind of doing silly, goofy things. And yes, you're young, but like, I don't know, I feel like you're one of those dogs, like you're one of those puppies, right, that has grown up. So you're getting older, but you're still doing like puppy things. And so you know how some people, they'll talk about their dog and be like, oh, they're still a puppy. And then you'd be like, really? Because they looking kind of like they getting bigger. It's like that. Like people are expecting you to become more mature, I guess, in a sense. And that's crazy because I just dropped my little plastic wand. But like, I feel like you have a lot of power and maybe you just kind of tend to like fumble it or misuse it or not recognize it even. And that's like natural especially for like a really old soul or really like a person who just may have different circumstances going on for themselves, because that may have nothing to do with it. It could just be the fact that this realm is so distracting and so confusing at times to where you're not able to like process. I'm going over time, but I'm almost done. So yeah, people are regarding you as like this guard pup, honey. They're looking at you as like, if this person's gonna be stupid, they're my favorite dummy, because they'll do whatever. Like they look at you as the neighborhood crash out. You'll do whatever. If somebody says the right thing, if they do the right thing, you'll do just what they say. Like that's what people think of you. That's how they look at you, and they look at you as not strong enough to do what you want for yourself. And that's kind of embarrassing. It's kind of humiliating. You might, from your perspective and from some other people's perspective, you may look at it like this like grand title, but you're really just like a follower, and people are gonna like try to romanticize that role so that you stay in it. And that's the unfortunate part of it. Okay, I hate this glare on my glasses, y'all. I hate it so much, but like it's so much more comfortable wearing them because it helps me to like not strain. But anyways, boom boom boom. Yeah, so some men like being controlled. So you need to decipher like whether you're that kind of man, because in this life, like you have a few choices. If you want to be an NPC, okay, you can live your life as an NPC, non-player character. You could live with a purpose, and then when you choose that you want to live with a purpose, you have to decide, do I want to live for a positive purpose or a more negative purpose or whatever, positive or negative, or for good or for bad, right? And some souls are more like kind of responsible for choosing their path a lot more faster and easier than younger souls or non-player characters or whatever, because non-player characters, they chose their role whether they realize it or not. They're just not players. They're just doing whatever the fuck. But young souls have less pressure because they have to experience things. People, this is a little secret I like to tell people. You know your old soul, period, because you just know yourself. But one way to tell is your eyeballs. Do you have large eyeballs, and do your irises cover most of your eyeballs? Like, you see how I'm looking and like there's no white underneath my eye or over my eye? It's because my soul is old. Younger souls will have a smaller eyeball. And if a person has like an old soul kind of eyeball and they're evil, they're old evil. They chose evil a long time ago and they comfortable in it. You may be the kind of person where you're kind of like coming from an evil life, but you're doing good. You got to look at your chart, people. You got to think about your things you like and that you're interested in to be able to decipher this stuff. It's not that hard, y'all. Damn. So yeah, some men like to be controlled. So decipher if you're that kind of person, okay? Because some men like the thought of being fed a woman's menstrual, or just like being bewitched, I guess. And yeah, so some people think looking good is the most important thing for their partner to do. Like for me, that's a really important thing, but it's not the most important. I would never like look at my partner and be like embarrassed about how they're dressed or something like that, unless it was like really a stark disturbance. And even still, depending on why they're dressed like that, I'm gonna always ride for them. Like, what the hell? And even if I'm not agreeing with what they're doing in front of everyone, I'm gonna ride for them, because that's what loyalty is, right? So yeah, like I feel like someone here is needing to realize that they've been coming off maybe a little superficial, and they need to decide if they want to continue to be superficial. So yeah, that was all the channel messages, y'all. I think that is pretty efficient, and the video isn't too long yet. So I hope that you guys enjoy this, and I will see you guys in the next one. You know what to do to give some love to the channel. So I thank you for doing so, and I will see you next time.